Hi everyone, this is ICA TV and welcome on a very sunny but chilly day. We are lucky, absolutely lucky today to have Sally with us, who is, well, her skill is amazing, and hopefully you'll be able to pop over and have a look at her creations after the interview. But I'll let her tell you all about this. But we'll say hi to Sally and welcome to ICA TV.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
I love your backdrop. I think it's so pretty.
Oh,
Mine's pretty boring. One day we will do something to smarten this up. But the best thing is to share with everybody about you and your business. So I know Sally Howe, and you've got an amazing business, and I'm going to read it because I did double check because my handwriting was rubbish. Is How Fine Designs. So
Yes.
Tell us about How Fine Designs.
Well, How Fine Designs is my jewellery business, and my name's Sally Howe, so I've got the name Howe and Fine Designs because that's what I always aimed to make, fine jewellery. So I've actually started working with silver, and I'm now working with gold, and I'm going to be working with a lot more things like sustainable gemstones as well. So it really is heading high end all the time. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and it's quite exciting.
Cool. And that's a sort of a creative path. Have you always been that sort of person?
I have, really, yes. I've always been a maker. I've always sort of painted and made things. I started out as a graphic designer, and I used to work in television. So I used to work for the BBC making title sequences and things.
Okay,
and
cool.
Then we relocated, so I became an art teacher. And I've been teaching art to adults as well as children, alongside bringing up a family. And then when my children were quite small, I decided that I wanted to do something creative for me. So I went to evening classes to learn how to make jewellery. So I did that. And then I've largely since then been self-taught, but I've now been working with Jewellers Academy as well. So I've been taking their courses, and I've actually made a course for them as well.
Oh, fantastic. And I think we all, that's probably rubbish, I'm certainly like a bit of, sticking and nicking in my time. I like a pencil or two. I like a bit of drawing. And whether it's part of our business or whether it's part of our being, sometimes we find it hard to fit it in.
Yeah, no, it's a really great thing to have in the background anyway. It's a sort of self-care type thing. So I often will sort of do a bit of a painting or a drawing, or just look at art in books. I've got a great book collection of gallery books and creative how to do things, and I'm always making and doing.
Oh, I love it. I think it opens up your creativity within your business as well. So whether, ladies, when you're watching, even if you're not a classified creative, there are, these little muscles, whether it's color or energy or something that actually helps within our business. So
it definitely blocks as well, because if you've got a blockage for something that you can't do, a lot of people have got limiting self-beliefs, particularly with art. They might have been taught by a teacher who happened to mention that theirs wasn't very good, and that stays with you. And actually that's one person's opinion.
Oh, totally agree.
As a teacher, I'm an enabler. So actually I say that I don't believe that anybody can't be creative. I think it's in all of us.
I don't understand. Let's do this little chat about school. God forbid, you get grades, don't you?
Yeah,
and you get a bit of work and they say that's D-. You go,
as a teacher, I have to grade people, but some of the greatest artists in the world wouldn't pass a GCSE exam.
Of course they wouldn't. Absolutely. A bit of story. I remember my son James. He's 29 now. If he watches this, sorry, mate. But he I can remember very clearly. He came home from senior school with must have been year 1 or 2 or whatever it is now, 7 and 8. And he had to do an art project, and he had to draw a member of his family. And he went, okay, cool. He did that. So he set the cat up, and he drew the cat. Cat wasn't that impressed, but the cat was drawn. And it went back to school, and he got detention or something like that because he drew a member of his family, but it wasn't specific that it had to be a human.
Yeah, see, that I actually think as an art teacher, I would actually be quite happy with that, because that's creative problem solving. You're solving
I thought it was amazing.
You've been given, and actually as an artist, you need to be able to think of things that are slightly alternative. So actually I would think that's quite praiseworthy.
I just think it would be a big tick in the box. So yeah, but
Yeah.
again, now we go, actually, that was rubbish, can't do that. Obviously, wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
And that's sort of
so
like,
then he's got that negative thought about art because he's had that one experience, which is damaging really, as
for all of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I suppose we look at our history of that, and I don't know, things have changed. Obviously your teaching as a teacher is to enable, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. That is what I do. I help people to believe that they can actually do it. So
because they can. Absolutely. Was it the block of bricks was it in the Tate?
Oh yeah.
Modern, some of us, including me, could look at it and go, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. However, somebody had the gumption, the tenacity.
That was 70s, wasn't it? In the 70s, that was. Yeah, I remember that.
To just do it.
Yeah, I've seen it. And actually, art is all about your perception of something. You're trying to communicate something. So each artist tells their own story, and whatever your story is your story. So it's only up to somebody else to sort of look at it, and if they don't get it, fine. That's not your problem as the artist. You put it out there to communicate something, and if they can't read into it what you're putting out there, then that's their problem, not yours. And actually, art is out there as a form of communication. So I think each person's form of communication is really valid.
Absolutely.
And
and I suppose the challenge is, if you wish to turn your medium into a business, and then to encourage, share, give information about your product so people can purchase.
Yeah, well, if you're selling something, you need to buy something that somebody else is going to want or need or use or value.
Yeah.
So it does limit things a little bit more, which is why actually just being an artist is very freeing. And if you do it for yourself, then that's reason enough to make art, because you're doing it to nurture yourself and express yourself and help yourself. Whereas actually you've got to question why you want to make the art, whether it is a commercial venture or whether it is for a sort of self-development thing. So there's different purposes for different sorts of art. So we talk about that for hours.
I know, I love it, absolutely love it. And obviously the marketing, this is me, bit of marketing. I go, okay, what would be the best? Is it a story? This is my brain going on to go, actually, how can we get these lovely businesses out there to the world? But sometimes your business is jewelry at this moment in time, but actually it could be the fact that you take yourself out and do line drawing as a downtime, as your time. It's not that you want to make that into a commercial offering, but actually it's for you. But your jewelry making is both sides of the coin, isn't it? It's for you because you're putting your heart and soul into it, but actually you're creating something that somebody would think that they're going to love and they want to purchase from you.
Yeah, I mean, there's both things. The jewelry for me, I love making people's ideas come to life. So making somebody who is thinking of commissioning something, making their ideas actually become a reality. But there's also that I actually teach people to make things themselves as well. So I've got a bit of both.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to help people.
I also know that you use a social media platform to share your products out to the world. And what platform is best for you?
Well, I use several social media platforms, but my favorite by far is Pinterest, only because it's a visual, creative platform. It's not really a social media, it's more of a search engine, but it really is the best way for me to actually get my products seen. It drives a lot of traffic to my website, and that's what you need when you're trying to make sales.
Absolutely. So
eyeball on your site.
Oh, definitely. So you sell from your website,
Yeah.
but your Pinterest, is it a board?
Yeah.
I'm not a Pinterest girl.
Yeah. Well, Pinterest is like a visual search engine. You can actually type in words and pictures come up. So you can also put in a picture and find other similar pictures. So it's quite clever.
Yeah, I like it when I'm designing.
Really clever. It can also read words. So if you've got words on your images, it uses artificial intelligence to read the words as well as the images. So it's quite clever. It also, each person's Pinterest, it sort of gets to know what you're looking for. So it sort of gives you more of what you've been looking for. So if you could try and confuse it, you can put in something completely random like fish or umbrellas, and it will start sending you those. So it's actually really clever. It is really clever.
It is clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
And an amazing marketing tool.
It's very good, and it's
very cool.
Massive search engine. It's like really high up. It's not far behind Google.
Wow, that's very interesting to know. And I suppose this is why you sort of diversified a little bit, because you use Pinterest and you know the benefits of, but you're diversifying, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Long word, stopped halfway.
Diversifying, yes.
Diversifying into a platform where you can support other creatives to get the best out of Pinterest.
Yeah, well, because I found it was really useful, and actually I was spending a lot of time on lots of different platforms. So I've got a really good Instagram account, it's not bad at all. I've got Twitter account, which is doing pretty well as well. I've got Facebook, so I've got all the bases, but I was just getting a bit frustrated about spending all the time on all the platforms. So I actually literally 18 months ago left all of the other platforms alone, just pretty much left them to stagnate, and got my Pinterest research done. I sort of found out every possible thing I could about it, did a load of digging and testing, and I test a lot. I worked out what was working and what wasn't working, and I'm a bit of a destruction tester, so I sort of try things. I'm not too worried about what my analytics say these days, because I sort of am prepared for them to go down as well as up while I work out what's going on. So I sort of test things out and work out what works. So then I thought, well, I can help other people do this. So I've made a course with Jewelers Academy. So I've helped a lot of other jewelers as well, so that they're getting ranked higher and getting seen more, and so we can spend more time making than being on all the social engines. So now I'm using Pinterest mostly to drive traffic to my website. I'm using Instagram to communicate with my customers. So I still like Instagram, but I don't spend much time on it. I spend much more limited time, and I've got my Pinterest strategy sorted out so that I actually schedule most of my pins out in advance, so that actually it doesn't take up huge amounts of time, because it can be a huge time sap. And as a maker, I want to be making, so that's what I've been doing really. So yeah.
And now you're going to teach that. So you've got a program out there that you're going to teach amazing creatives how to do that, so they can spend more time on their creative product.
Yeah, absolutely, because you don't really want to be spending all your time on social media. I mean, it's nice to be social sometimes, and it's great to have relationships with real people like this. It's nice to actually talk to somebody, but nice. You don't want to spend all of your time sort of trying desperately to get seen. So the visibility is what I'm using Pinterest for. Communication is what I'm using Instagram for. And then I've got a Facebook group, which I'm helping other people to learn about how I'm getting seen.
Fab. And it's clarity, isn't it? Clarity and planning to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
So if you are, I'll give you a plug. Are we allowed to do that? Yeah, of course we are. If you are a creative, and that's people who are making things, I'm in my head creative.
Yeah, it's makers, it's artists, it's designers, it's photographers, yeah, and anything like that. Anybody that's got sort of some sort of end product that they're trying to sell. So I'm trying to keep it to people that are hand makers or some sort of creative aspect, so the photographers fit in nicely to that niche. And it's a platform niche that I feel comfortable with, because that's what my background is in.
And you know it, and you know it works, and that's why you've created that program.
So I have got a few service-based people in my group, but that's not who I mostly serve. They're welcome to come in, but it's an extra. They will learn lots of things, but
yeah, absolutely. And I think if you're out there, we will do a plug for your group. But if you send me the link to your group, and I will pop it up in our thread, and that's part of this ICA TV as well. So people, if you are a creative and you wish to have a look at the group, then pop on over, and I'm sure Sally will give you a huge, virtual hug. Well, not allowed real ones.
It's Pinterest for creatives. So if you just mention that you've seen me on
the interview, you might get a second hug. You might have a little, a literal virtual chat.
I'll give you a special little star.
Oh, that's me then. I'm in. But the whole thing is actually missioning is for you, my darlings, everybody out there watching, is to get your businesses out there. That's exactly why we're doing this. And everybody who comes on ICA TV will get a bit of a crib sheet. Sounds very formal, but it's a piece of paper which I've written things on about how to get the best out of the interview. And that's exactly what we do on ICA TV. But on your program, you're doing exactly the same, really. It's just
it's helping people really, and getting them to the next stage, that they feel that they are confident that they can use the platform, because a lot of people only use it for pinning sort of recipes and holidays, and why wouldn't you?
I love it. I do a bit of creative there, and I have a look around. You have to cut your fringe. It's probably a good idea. But also, it's a good platform, and I'm learning. Something I only use as a personal thing, but I think it's a fantastic platform to share your visual products.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So out there, ladies, I'm going to say ladies because that's hopefully everybody who's watching, because this is ICA, but to go on and pop over to Sully and ask her to come in, have a look around, see if there's any benefit for you. So in the future, apart from your amazing program that's going out there, and you're still making, obviously, because that's who you are, what's next? Where are you? What do you want?
I'm planning to help more people do more things. So I think there's a lot of things like mindset and things like that, an organisation that I'll be able to help people with in the future. So watch this space.
Oh, here we go. I love a plan. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I just want mindset and on my bit of paper. Be great, my darling. And I wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
Not that you're going to need it, because your product and your service is impeccable. So you're going to do it. You're already out there in the world, but this is helping, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But ladies and gents out there, if you're a gentleman watching and you've got a lady who's a business owner in your realm, send them over.
I have a few gentlemen in my group as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. There's lots of creatives out there. ICA is I'll never say that word, mostly female business owners. But if you're a gentleman and you know a female business owner, do get them in touch with us, because I'm sure this will be a benefit, as it has been for others. Do give us a shout. But I'll say thank you, Sully. It's been absolutely wonderful to have you on ICA TV. And we're definitely going to see more of you. So that's really cool. And we'll watch your progress. You're here. Give us a shout if you need us. And you're so welcome. And everybody out there on ICA TV land, if you wish an interview, if you wish to share your story and your business out to our ICA community, and we're out there on YouTube, we're out there on LinkedIn, we're out there in our private groups, and there you'll share it out all to your social media. So do give us a shout and we can help you with that. So we're off. More coffee. It's not gin o'clock, it's fine.
Not quite.
We've got a bit of time yet. But we're off to do our stuff, and we will catch up with you again either on a Saturday or Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So love to everybody, and we'll speak to you soon. And bye from me. Bye, guys.